What about the politics is very interesting in Jamaica, in Harry. Very interesting to talk about it.
It is, neighbor, and I want to just publicly say this piece as well to every and anybody who listens and who is willing to come up and speak. Let's rise the standard of our conversations. Let's look at the fact that whatever we speak about and how we communicate it, it is a reflection of us, and also it is a direct impact as to how we shape the psychology of our listeners and the social fabric of our societies. So if you're coming to speak on something, it is easier for you to say, it is not my area of expertise, or I'll get back to you on that, or I am not sure. It doesn't take you anything. You don't lose any respect when you come here on these things. Because not you and I, neighbor, aren't experts on a lot of things, but we'll share a perspective with the information that we have.
And some things we avoid.
Right.
Yes.
But to come and to be blatant, and I think there's a level of arrogance and maybe
quite
some
frankly, dishonesty too.
Outright, right? And it is distasteful and it is unacceptable in today's society. So let's have a conversation as to the level that we want it to remain and to get better. Let's not do that.
Do you remember, Harry, when we were having very serious concerning issues for all of us? We're concerned about the crime figures in Jamaica, how the opposition was asking the government every day for a crime plan. You remember how the government came under pressure?
Yeah.
It is the same statistics that they were using, to pressure the government to come up with a crime plan,
It is nothing different. The same institutions, the same strategies, the same figures, formulas that they use to do. It's the same thing. Nothing has changed in that regard. So if you accept it in one manner, you have to accept it in another.
Yeah, when you accept it when it was high, but now that it is showing that it is going south, you are saying it's mere statistics. That's dishonest, man. That's intellectual dishonesty, and that is not impressive at all.
I think if Mr. Sanders is listening, I think he owes the academia and the teaching fraternity and a public apology, because it is downright a low standard to be bragging that you're a teacher and come and spew these nonsense.
Yes.
Right? Because I don't know him personally, so I'm not taking any shot on him. But the things that come out of your mouth and the rhetoric, and come on, man, you're a senior to me. But it was like men versus boys tonight. Raise your level of understanding and information and capacity so we can have these conversations. Because I don't know everything, but I'll let you know what I know. And I'll stand on that. Yep. But don't come and try to try and corrupt a program of this magnitude. Let's not do that. Let's move Jamaica forward.
Absolutely. No, Harry. Finally, the opposition leader today was saying that. Thank you, K. Henriquez. Thank you so much. Was saying that his budget presentation was really pulling from the PNP's manifesto. And I was here thinking, Harry, that if you wrote a manifesto last year and you entered an election, so many things would have changed in Jamaica, including the fact that we had a 100-year devastating hurricane, that you would expect both the government and the opposition to adjust their manifestos. Isn't that what happened when the Prime Minister said, for example, that he can't keep the promise of giving the people $2,500 for their minimum wage? They have to reduce it to $100. Don't you think the opposition should do more in terms of crafting a current plan rather than going back to the manifesto? How could a manifesto crafted last year be relevant today under the circumstances that we have?
But I'll add a bit to that, neighbor. It wasn't even relevant in 2025 either, right? So when we face a natural disaster of this magnitude, that manifesto got torn up and thrown away. You can't come and
in
bring
large part.
extremely large parts, right? Because some of the programs that are there were actually hedged, and these were my thing, maybe not verbatim, but it was hedged against a growth that the country would have been able to achieve.
You remember organic growth?
Organic,
Mr.
exactly.
Robinson. You remember Mr. Robinson spoke of organic growth?
and none of that would have been there. No. So
yes.
A lot of things that manifesto is hedge against is crazy, especially neighbor. That I'm not stop reminding people of the $3.5 million threshold, because that wouldn't make no form sense to today's society.
Couldn't happen.
Right? And boy, there's so many things, neighbor. But the truth is, it downright shows a level of naivety that the opposition may think the people of Jamaica state of mind is in. It is also rather one in which, for me, he's just outright lazy, because there's no way, and it shows that when we mentioned that their budget presentation is not applicable to today's reality, that is a problem. This is a problem they had, Remember, I pointed out the applicability and the implementation of what they're saying does not fit into what we need now.
But for him to have publicly admitted, Harry, to come out and say, boy, my budget presentation was just things we took from our manifesto. This man is taking our intellect for granted, Harry.
It's a disrespect. It's a disrespect to Jamaica.
Uh-huh.
Right?
You can't expect to lead a country, and then you are going to say that it's your manifesto is of no value to our current realities. We are going through a very difficult crisis. The government found $10 billion. Was $10 billion in Mark Golding's manifesto in September? Huh? Was building Black River in there? And Westmoreland?
Everything was edged against the
and lending JPS $150 million.
Exactly. Everything that they had was actually set for the infrastructure and the systems that were already at play. Lisa Hanna said it best. Melissa exposed and uproot a lot of systems that no longer functions.
You listen to that
in today's
from
society.
Hannah, sir? Yeah,
I did.
Very profound statement.
Right? And it says a lot. So if that manifesto could have was built in a way to predict this disaster, then Mark Golding might have been a superhero under the quiet, but it is false, right?
Yeah, because even if there were ideas there, the funding of it would have to be adjusted, or the implementation.
They couldn't even figure out the funding between themselves, and that says a lot. That in itself, in its natural form, says a whole lot to the people of Jamaica. And I'll not keep repeating it for people to listen to. The opposition finance minister was looking to borrow money, while the opposition leader says that he can find $77 billion just by compliance. A compliance which I might add is not applicable and cannot be implemented in the time frame that they speak of. Because none of the suggestions they put forward could reap anything close to, and I'm being very, very lenient, could not bring Jamaica $100 million. And I'm being very lenient to that in the first year. That $8.2 billion I said they would have gotten from the tax receipt thing and all of that, we already showed our receipts. We came with the proof. We used two of the recommended countries that they said that they look into. Clearly they didn't look enough, because I just spent an hour looking into it and I decipher a whole lot with a statement like that, because I highlighted the shortfalls and give the people of Jamaica the realistic time frame of both implementation and how long it takes for the applicability to start to reap the returns. That is not a budget speech and recommendation that can move Jamaica right now. You can't put something forward that is 3, 4, 5 years for studies and implementation for what we need now. You're out of touch of reality, and you need to get back to the reality of Jamaica and understand. Or is it a fact that neither of these persons can relate to the ordinary Jamaican man? Because that is a serious question.
The opposition is disappointing us, Harry. With all truth and honesty, people who are thinkers, this is disappointing. This is not leadership at all. You have to recalibrate your manifesto. That is disappointing coming from. It appears as if the Jamaican people made the right choice on September 3.
They have. They truly have. And it's a situation where they can pat themselves on the back to say, yes, they got it right. Even those who got it wrong, they got it right regardless. We're extending grace for that. But what I'll say to those persons, specifically the undecided, because I don't think we're even trying to change anybody's mind. We just want to give them the information and let them do with it what they may. But the truth is, for the undecided, please don't stay away from the polls. Use this next 4 to 5 years to look at what is being done. Look at the other hand as to see what they're putting forward, and match both readiness. Match your readiness and the capabilities as well as the capacity of both parties, both the government and its administration and the opposition. Just do a proper comparison. In fact, you can note one thing per week. Let's do a sheet, the pros and cons. That's all you have to do. If easy, even better yet, one per month. You look at what is the pro and what is the con for both. And come the next 4 to 5 years, that will allow you to make an objective decision instead of an emotional one at the polls. That is all I'm asking for them. Because so many things are going to happen over this period, and you need to be able to remind yourself. Nothing beats. This is the point where the pen is mightier than the sword, neighbor. You put it into writing, you store it, and when it comes to making that decision, even the final year, just look back at it, see what was put down, and then that will help you make your decision. Not this recency bias and this in the moment emotional kind of thing, and definitely not the vibes. We don't want our future to be determined by vibes on the last 2 weeks before an election. Your future is worth more than that. And you have to stand on that fully. And not just your future, but your family's future and thereafter. Jamaica's future and Jamaica's existence banks on those decisions. And take that seriously.